underway and scoreless in San Diego. San Diego State, Boise State, both these teams at 4-1 atop the Mountain West Conference. The defenses are good on both sides, and that's what we've seen so far. Although Boise State, second possession is into San Diego State territory. Rich Waltz, Robert Turbin, Tiffany Blackman. It was supposed to be flooding and storm and a torrential rain, and it really has held off. The field looks okay, and the Broncos with a young quarterback making his first start. Chase Penry had that one knocked away by Eric Butler.
Yeah, a 3rd and 7, the exact scenario that Boise State wants to avoid with Max Cupforth. You know those quick throws are coming, and so you see the tight coverage by San Diego State in response. And so far in this football game, as expected, Rich, it's all about the defense right now.
San Diego State's defense ranked #1 in the conference. Boise State's defense really, really good, and probably the 2 best secondaries in the Mountain West. Oscar Doyle, the Aussie. That's a fair catch called by Napier at the 5, a 42-yard punt. All right, we're glad you're here. We're glad we're here as well. This should be a terrific game. At the top of the Mountain West, Boise State, San Diego State. The band's got their rain gear on. Old Trapper presenting Mountain West football. Boise State, San Diego State. Snapdragon Stadium in San Diego, but the rain is held off. Conditions are pretty good. Rich Waltz, Robert Turbin, Tiffany Blackman is with us. And you know, after this week, you got 2 weeks left, and both teams have just 1 loss. Makes this a playoff game, essentially.
Yeah, it's a big game tonight, a big opportunity for both teams. Not only do you take sole possession of first place in the Mountain West, but you keep your hopes alive for the college football playoff later on in the season.
Both teams trying to bounce back as well in this one. And you can see field position has favored Boise State so far. Both defenses have been really, really good. Lucky Sutton trying to get loose. He's the feature running back for San Diego State. Here's the bounce back, right? Boise State 2 weeks ago hammered it home. They lost their quarterback, Maddox Madsen, to an injury, and they lost to Fresno State 30-7. San Diego State was on the islands. They got a big dose of Micah Alejado, and they were blitzed by the Rainbow Warriors last week. So they're 4-1, but they're both coming off of huge losses. And now to look at Jaden Denegal, the first-year quarterback here, the transfer from Michigan. And the Bronco defense has just been outstanding. Braxton Feely gets through and knocks him down at about the 10. The transfer portal provided Jaden Denegal for San Diego State, and their offense has kind of gone back to the history when they really ran it well. They're running it well right now. The question is, can he throw it well enough?
Well, he started off the season on fire, Rich, and really the last 3-4 games is kind of taking a dip. You know, 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions in his last 3 games. And so, you know, I think the key for him is just playing with confidence and being sure about his throws tonight against this stingy Boise State defense.
Blitz comes, the throw is on the mark, but there's 3 Broncos waiting for Lucky Sutton. Marco Notriani with another stop. And Boise State's defense has been splendid.
They love to bring pressure at Boise State. They recognize that there's a screen. Marco Notriani with the initial hit, and then the rally cry comes to clean it up. Both of these defense, what they do well is they attack the football and they rally to the ball carriers so well. Nice job right there by Boise State.
And now Hunter Green for the 3rd time to punt. This time a wobbler off of his foot, and it's going to land and roll into Boise State territory. The Broncos are getting better and better field position with every stop and every punt. They'll start this one on their 47, 49-yard punt, still scoreless in San Diego.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. What's your beef? By Verizon and by Chili's 3 for Me. The best $10.99 you can eat.
Well, you know, sometimes you say it's nice and it starts raining, and we made such a big deal out of it. Hey, the heavy stuff hasn't come down yet. Here comes the heavy stuff. Back in San Diego, the weather has changed dramatically in about the last 3 or 4 minutes. Max Cutforth, the young quarterback, going to turn and hand it off. Riley over the right side, and San Diego State is there to stop him. Owen Chambliss. Spencer Danielson says, let it rain.
It feels like he's back in Boise with the
Let it rain. Well, look, he's from, you know, we just showed you all the Broncos that are from Southern California. He's from the San Diego area.
Yeah, Solana Beach.
Yeah, his sister is actually here watching. She's a professor at San Diego State. Oh, yeah. Wow, Mr. Williams with another big hit. The linebackers in this game are just dominant right now. So, San Diego State 4-1, Boise State 4-1. Unbelievably, Utah State had 2 or 3 chances to win that game in overtime and double overtime, but UNLV wins it. They go to 4-2. New Mexico won today. They're 4-2.
And this is becoming a pretty tight race, but if San Diego State can pull this off tonight, they separate themselves just a little bit to hold first place in the Mountain West.
3rd down 7, Cutforth from the pocket, scrambling. He lost the football. I think the Broncos may have gotten it back. Sherrod was in the area, and he got it back, and that's one of the perils of the rain and the wet football.
It's the first time tonight we've seen Matt Cutforth actually drop back.
Rolling on the field is a fumble by the offense, recovered by the offense. It's 4th down.
And drop back and try to read there in the pocket. But listen, the key with elements is always ball security. That's going to be a point of emphasis for both teams and their offenses tonight.
Aztecs come after the punt. Doyle gets it off. And it's into the end zone. It comes out to the 20. Boise State, San Diego State, scoreless so far, late in the first quarter. Watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Yeah, it's really starting to rain now, but doesn't seem to bother the Aztec fans. 7 Eastern on Wednesday. CBS Sports Network got some college basketball. Villanova goes head-to-head with LaSalle. Last 3 Villanova head coaches. Kevin Willard in his first year, off to a 3-1 start. And our buddy Jay Wright.
Yeah.
Had a chance to work with Jay a few times on some college basketball.
How about that?
Christian Washington in the game right now for San Diego State, and this is Washington bursting loose. Cross midfield, stiff arm there. Benefield brings him down, and the first big play of the ball game belongs to San Diego State. That's a 41-yard run.
How about Christian Washington? He's got explosive speed, a guy who came over from Cal, joined the team after spring ball. Usually they like to use him in the passing game, but with the rain, you can see the explosiveness that he has.
Up till that play, 25 snaps, 55 total yards combined between these two teams. We're in the final minute of the first quarter. Ball at the 39 of Boise State. Washington again. This time he's wrapped up by Dion Washington.
And you recognize the defenders, Rich, because it's raining, there's even more of an intentionality about attacking the football. Right there, Dion Washington on the tackle, but as soon as he got a grab of Washington there, he goes straight for the football. So if you're a back in this game tonight, you got to be intentional about 2 hands on the ball.
Looks like they're just going to wait this out and talk it over in between the first and second quarter. Jaden Denegal and San Diego State on the move.
That's the end
The
of the
scoreless
first quarter.
start between two 4-1 teams in the Mountain West. Let's take a look at the college football playoff poll, powered by Ram Trucks. Turbo, I see something on there that isn't quite right.
Yeah, South Florida, they lost today. There they are right there. Let me cross those guys out and put in NT.
Oh, North Texas.
That's for North Texas. That's not a good T there. But
what about
you
you could put a JMU there.
You could put a JMU there. James Madison, yeah, in the running as well. It's going to be a fight to the finish for that 12th college football playoff spot.
This is the best drive of the game so far. Defenses have dominated. The rain has let up a bit. Jaden Denegal and the Aztec offense, 37-yard line of Boise State. Handed off to Christian Washington, and he busts through again inside the 15 and down to the 10. 26 more yards from the junior out of San Diego. He's a local kid.
Well, we talked to Coach Sean Lewis before the game, and he says, look, on defense, we want to kill the run, and on offense, we want to run the ball. And we talk about how good this Boise State defense has been, but if we could point to one weakness, Rich, it would be their defense against the run.
Timeout for equipment.
We have a chain issue, obviously, as they stretch it out. 3 carries, 69 yards, and Washington has been the feature on this drive.
Yeah, this defense for Boise State giving up about 185 yards per game. That's probably the only weakness that we could point out of this defense, and it's showing itself so far.
1st and 10. And this time Washington gets to the 6. That's a gain of about 5. Bowen Phelps makes the stop.
Christian Watson getting quite a bit of work in this matchup, and one of the skill sets that he brings, look, Lucky Sutton, a patient type of runner. Christian Watson, he sees the crease and he hits it right now.
Second down, clock running down. Denegal getting him lined up. Washington gets through. Is he in? No signal yet. No, he's down, short of the goal line. And this is going to be 3rd down and goal. Or excuse me, 1st down and goal. He did get the 1st down. Washington in the backfield. Denegal right up to the line. Is this a touchdown? Yes, it is. Touchdown, San Diego State. Late call. Denegal gets in. Christian Washington carried on every play of the drive except that one.
Yeah, he was really the head of the snake to help him turn this into a scoring drive. Christian Washington getting the bulk of the carries there, and then Jaden Denegal finishing it off, and this offensive line dominating at the line of scrimmage.
Look at this.
For the score.
Fun with formations. Is Placentia one of the best field goal kickers in this conference? Takes the extra point. It's getting soggy here in San Diego. And it was all defense until Christian Washington walked into this game.
Well, showing off the explosive speed. It started off with a big run down the sideline, then another one that breaks a tackle that gets it inside the 5-yard line. And then Jaden Denegal finishing it off out here in rainy San Diego with the Aztecs up 7-0.
An umbrella for the head coach, who's also the offensive coordinator, Sean Lewis, and Jaden Denegal. Look at that. Last drive, 80 yards. 79 of those yards came from Christian Washington. Certainly a change of pace from Washington to the original starter, Lucky Sutton.
Yeah, Lucky, more of a patient runner, likes to let things develop in front of him, which is not a bad thing, but when you're playing in the elements like this, sometimes you just got to hit it when it looks like nothing is really there. And Christian Washington is doing a good job, and that's how he was able to have success in that last drive.
That's a short kick, and it scoots by, and it is going to roll on the goal line, and it's covered there.
That's very smart by Sherrod right there.
That is going to be a touchback. He did not touch it when it was in play. Once it got to the end zone, he covered it. But that was high anxiety, certainly, for the Broncos.
Yeah, he did a good job. Look at him. He's not panicking at all. He's like, let me let the ball get into the end zone and then cover it up for the touchback. You want to talk about a guy who is a sixth-year senior showing being mature in that spot right there.
Rain coming down. Max Cutforth making his first career start. Maddox Madsen is here. Bouncing it outside is Sire Gaines. And Gaines out close to midfield. Bryce Phillips runs him out. So the Broncos break off a nice run, get themselves close to midfield.
And you typically look at Sire Gaines as a downhill physical guy who wants to lower his shoulder, but right there he's showing the speed. And you see right there the ball security, a huge emphasis with this rain coming down as the ball gets punched out at the end, but nonetheless a good run by Sire Gaines. A little slip and slide action right there.
Never a bad thing to slip and slide on the sideline. Broncos right tackle gets tired, and that's Gaines again, and he chews up another 10 yards.
Yeah, and that's Sire Gaines. I mean, you want to define him as a runner. There it is right there. Look at this replay. He's got a couple guys on him, and he's still able to lower his shoulder and run a guy over. Here he is coming around the right side. You get the guard pulling, boom, right there. Put a guy on his behind and takes a couple defenders for a ride for a few more yards. That is how you define Sire Gaines and his running style.
30 yards on 2 carries for Gaines on this drive. And this time, he's going to run into Mr. Williams, who is getting the start at linebacker for this really good San Diego State defense. Rob Orich is their new defensive coordinator. He came in last year with Sean Lewis and a new staff. The Aztecs last year, a change of coaches, change of styles, came out and didn't play well. They were 3-9 this year. There's a look at Orich. This year, though, completely different. That defense is much better. Malik Sherrod is going to lose a half a yard. This will be 3rd down and almost 8.
Rob Orich, defensive coordinator for San Diego State, just talked about how, obviously he was disappointed in the performance of his defense last week against Hawaii. As we take a look at this tackle for a short gain there, forcing a 3rd and long. But, this week for San Diego State defensively was just about regrouping and getting back to the attitude of who we are as a defense. That was the words of Rob Orich there, the defensive coordinator.
Caples on a short toss from Cutforth, and Caples is close. And this is probably 4-down territory here for the Broncos. The football sits just outside the 35-yard line. They got to get to the 34 for a 1st down. So a 4th down and a long one. Yeah,
and Caples is huge for this offense. Did a nice job right there getting downhill and getting what he could to make this a 4th and manageable. It's a good decision by Spencer Danielson right here under the elements to go for it. I expect a run play here.
Cutforth turns, and Riley, like he was catapulted towards the line, burst through and gets to the 33-yard line. Owen Chambliss made the stop.
So you'll see a lot of heavy personnel from Boise State tonight. That's what they want to do, 2 tight ends in the game. A lot. You'll see Matt Lauder, Matt Wagner, number 88 in the game. And there they are in there right now. This heavy blocking scheme is going to be huge for Boise State in the run game.
And the other thing to note, and some of it may be the elements, but I think most of it is a really inexperienced quarterback. San Diego State says they have the ball. The officials say, sorry, he was down. They've kind of simplified the passing attack for Cutforth. Let's take a look and see if it did come out before the runner was down.
Well, it's
Knees down.
Malachi Finau. He's the one vying to Sean Lewis that ball came out, but hard to see right there.
Well, maybe they will review it.
Yeah, he's fired up. Finau's fired up.
The previous play is under further review for a potential fumble.
Yeah, Malachi Finau, he seems pretty sure about this fumble. Let's take a look. I pointed it out, Rich. You got to have two hands on this football under these elements, and it's just really hard to tell from that particular angle. I didn't see the ball come out. And it's got to be conclusive, right, Rich, in order for...
Absolutely. The original call holds enormous weight. You have to be 100% sure that you can overturn it. and it's so...
the pictures are going to look like this a lot tonight.
We've had 3 different angles, and all we see are arms and legs and helmets and bodies. You don't see the football. I don't see how they could overturn this. Do you?
No, I really don't. It's really difficult to see. The fact that they're taking another look at it, though, does lend, you know, you know what? That might be this might be our best opportunity.
Well, he's without the ball there.
Yeah, and it's just about when does that right knee, when does that right knee come down and the ball out? Boom.
Knees are down. Oh, this is
I don't think you can overturn this.
This
Here's
is
a good look at it.
I don't think we've... Yeah. I think you'd have to do like the football equivalent of an MRI here. Right? To get in between like a matrix effect.
Well, he's got 2 hands on it.
His knee goes down pretty early, though. Watch that right knee go down right there. So the knee's down pretty early in this whole sequence.
And I don't see a ball. I don't see the ball come out. So I think this is going to be a first. This play is going to stand. It's going to be upheld. There's no way. There's no way they can overturn this one, Rich.
After further review, the ruling on the field is upheld. It's second down.
Well, the intentions were good from Finau. And back to this Boise State drive, which has featured the running of Sire Gaines. And it has them just outside the 30. Second down and 8 now. Gaines again, left side. And this is working. It's really fascinating how neither team moved the ball on the ground in the first quarter. Then they changed running backs. And all of a sudden, both running backs, Washington for San Diego State, Gaines for Boise State, and things are popping now. Yeah,
and this might be the type of games just for Sire Gaines, 6 foot, 217 pounds, a bigger back who just brings the physicality in the backfield.
Gaines again, breaks a tackle, and leaps across the 15 down to about the 14. Phillips is there to get him. That's another nice gain.
And a nice answer so far. Latrell Caples comes in there, gets just enough on the block to spring Sire Gaines there, almost converting for a first down.
Gaines now, you can see it, 59 yards on 7 carries. There's no mystery about Boise State's offense right now. You got an inexperienced quarterback and some movement there. On a wet night, they are running it, much like San Diego State.
False start. Number 88 on the offense. It's 5 yards, still second down.
In fact, both these teams have run for exactly 93 yards each. Penalties have been an issue for Boise State. 41 on the offense, third most in all of FBS.
Yeah, and really uncharacteristic for a Boise State football team.
10th play of the drive. Gains again. Close, but not there as far as the first down. Eric Butler made the stop.
Well, you're going to have 2 downs right here for Boise State and Spencer Danielson. They get a yard, assuming that you don't get a penalty here or you don't get a tackle for loss. But you're going to go right back to the well. I mean, this is what we're going to see tonight. This is just going to be run versus run, both sides.
Gaines left side, bouncing it outside, breaks a tackle, gets hit, has the first down to about the 12-yard line. Bryce Phillips the stop, and this Bronco drive continues.
Didn't see anything inside, so he bounced it, and this is just all effort. Sire Gaines right here, just to make sure he got that yard for the first down.
Inexperienced quarterback, wet turf, 21 rushes, just 6 pass attempts so far for Boise State. This one is Riley, and Riley gets to about the 11. Gain of maybe 3.
Boise State, one of the things they like to do offensively is show a picture initially, then send a guy in motion, maybe a shift. They love the pre-snap movements. We talked to offensive coordinator Nate Potter. He says, look, we're going to dumb that down a little bit with Max Cutford starting in the game, but you still see elements of it so far to start off.
Cutforth hands it, Riley up the middle. Stuffed. At the 9, Brady Anderson made the stop. Remember, this is a really good defense. San Diego State's giving up just 93 yards on the ground per game.
And also, San Diego State's really good in the red zone. Rich, 68% success rate, which is around where you want to be. And this is what they want as well. They want to force Max Cutforth to throw on 3rd and 7+.
14th play of the drive. That is Riley, and he's in. Touchdown. 2 long drives on the ground. First for San Diego State, and now for Boise State. Dylan Riley finishes what Sire Gaines started.
Should have been a tackle for loss, but the jump cut for Riley, watch this, excuse me, and a missed tackle, and Coach Rob Arich talked about it. You got to be able to tackle in space, and right there, an elusive player, Dylan Riley, making a play and getting into the end zone, the answer for the score.
Extra point is up and good. Soggy in San Diego, but the offenses have started to go on the ground for Boise State and for San Diego State. 7-7 in the Mountain West. We often equate great adjustments by offensive coordinators with throwing plays, passing plays. But the ground game for both Spencer Danielson and the Broncos, Sean Lewis and the Aztecs, little tweak here, little change in personnel there, and 2 long drives, a 7-7 game.
Yeah, the starters for San Diego State, Lucky Sutton and Dylan Riley on the Boise State side, being taken out for the majority of those last drives. But how about these quarterbacks as well? I mean, the vocal points to this offense, and typically, but not so much tonight. They're not been reliable.
Is that weather related in your mind, or is it young quarterback for Boise State and ineffective passing game for San Diego State?
The game plan was to run the football, but San Diego State loves to put it in the air, so it's the weather.
Napier on the return. He's out close to about the 29. All right, their first 3 drives, they had 5 total yards. This drive, 6 plays, 80 yards. Well, it was Christian Washington that did the damage.
Yeah, and it's interesting. They started the game, Rich, with 3 straight passes, and they go 3 and out, and they haven't thrown the football since. and they sub in Christian Washington, who then is able to spark this offense and drive down the field for their first score of the game.
Sean Lewis does call the plays for San Diego State, the second-year head coach. That is going to be another completion. They've lost like 6 yards in the passing game. Let's check in with Tiffany Blackman. Hi, Tiff.
Hey, guys. Well, Napier taking a little bit of a hard hit there. Before the game, though, he was motivating this team, and he was telling them, hey, we only scored 6 points our last time out. Let's go get it done tonight. And that's what's pushing these guys right now.
Hey, Tiff, on the field, how's the footing down there?
I think the footing's okay, and actually, Rich, the rain just stopped. So, lucky break here.
Lucky Sutton, too, right?
Yeah.
Second down and 12. And that is Lucky Sutton. Good timing. Out to the 41-yard line, Marco Notriani.
And his best attribute is his patience. He gets the ball. He talked a lot about Le'Veon Bell and studying his film, just being patient at the line of scrimmage. And then he has that as well, that physicality just to run people over. A good run for a first down.
Wow. That ball really sailed on Denegal. And Napier took a low hit from a defensive back, and he is on his way to the bench. This is bad in so many ways.
Well, the throw certainly got away from Denegal there, and what they're trying to do offensively is they're trying to get Napier the ball in space, but Boise State, they know that, and so they're playing tight to the line of scrimmage, and it seems like every time the ball goes Napier's way, he's getting hit right away.
Sutton on a draw. Notriani hits him at the 45. Has San Diego State thrown a pass across the line of scrimmage yet tonight? I mean, everything seems like it's been a bubble screen.
Yeah, most of the passes have been right at the line of scrimmage, Rich. They've tried in the first drive of the game to get something down the field. The accuracy issues continue to show up for Denegal, but listen, you can't get bored with doing a good thing. And if the run game is flourishing for you right now, you just got to stick to it.
I like that. You can't get bored when you're doing a good thing. And you're right, running the football has been their strength. Denegal. Lots of time. Now scrambling. Head down. Close to the first down, but short by a yard. This is an interesting decision now for San Diego State.
You got to go for this if you're Sean Lewis. 4th and 1. You're not going to see Denegal run the football a lot. He's trying to find a target over the middle of the field.
He's a big quarterback at 6'3", 240.
They got to get a play in. Sean Lewis not exactly sure what he wants to do right here. Going to let the play clock go down and then call a timeout. It's interesting because Sean Lewis has been aggressive all season long, and he talked about how the players know that when it's 4th down, they're going to go for it. I mean, it's almost surprising to them if they decide to punt the football. So the unsurety right there is actually just a little bit surprising to me in terms of midfield, 4th and short. You feel like this is a go-for-it time for San Diego State typically.
If you're just joining us, this is the game of the night in the Mountain West Conference. After tonight, just 2 games left in the regular season. San Diego State, Boise State find themselves at 4-1. There's a bunch of teams still alive as far as getting to the championship game. Utah State lost a heartbreaker tonight at UNLV. Seemingly had that game won 2 or 3 times, missing kicks, makeable kicks at the end of regulation, overtime, and the second overtime. And here tonight, rain has been an issue. Sean Lewis now, let's see what he has. So on 4th and 1.
Yeah, they've got Byron Cardwell Jr. in the game, and remember, they got all 3 running backs in the game right here.
Big quarterback. Let's see if he sneaks it, or if they're just trying a hard count.
And here comes the play here.
On the grounds, breaking loose, this is Sutton. Lucky Sutton covers the ball and ends up at the 28-yard line. Ganter made the stop, 27 more yards.
Both defensive coordinators really talked about the importance of tackling in space. And boy, you missed one tackle and just going to break into a big one right there. Marco Notriani misses a tackle. Lucky Sutton able to make a play there. And the best part of the run is at the end, putting two hands on the football. Ball security at an ultimate high right now for both teams.
This is a really good offensive line for San Diego State.
I think they left a little early that time, Rich. Oh.
Prior to the snap.
2-minute timeout.
Timeout. It's a 2-minute timeout.
2-minute timeout. That's an emotional coach. Sean Lewis likes what he sees out there from Lucky Sutton and the Aztecs. Seven, 2-minute timeout. Final moments here, first half. Coming up, Verizon halftime report. You got Brent Stover, Kevin Carter, Cardale Jones. All the highlights from around the country on a busy Saturday in college football. The Verizon halftime report. Wild Mountain West. 4-1 are these two teams. 4 other teams within a game of first place. Hardest remaining schedule, Utah State at Fresno State, and then they get this Boise State team. Driving is San Diego State. 2 minutes left in this first half. Lucky Sutton, another chunk of yardage. The Aztecs just are not throwing the ball right now.
This game feels like an academy game, Rich. I know those are games that you're used to. Navy, Army, Air Force, Navy, just running the football and trying to control the clock on both sides.
Sutton again. Sutton.
Wow.
Bone Phelps makes the stop. And this has been a turning point in this guy's career. Broncos going to call a timeout. What a jump in production from Sutton, San Diego native.
Boise State. It's their first of the half. This will also
We'll take a timeout.
Timeout.
Driving are the Aztecs. Final 2 minutes of this first half, and it's a 7-7 tie. This is a game that former NFL coach Chuck Knox would love. His nickname was Ground Chuck.
Is that right?
He wanted to run the football, and look what San Diego State is doing. Washington's got 79 yards. Lucky Sutton's got 72 yards. And that's how Boise State has moved the football for their touchdown.
No doubt.
Specifically on the ground.
Last drive was all Christian Washington for San Diego State on the ground, and this drive it's been all Lucky Sutton, and he's running fiercely right now, running defenders over, dragging guys for extra yardage. He's running with a purpose right now. 9th
play of the drive. First and goal. Sutton, no surprise this time, and Boise State's going to call a timeout. Did you see Spencer Danielson run right out on the field to get that timeout?
Boise State. It's their second of the half.
He's still got some explosiveness. That former went to school down here at a smaller school. That's right, Azusa Pacific.
That's right. Linebacker, right?
Yeah, he was a linebacker. That's a good burst of speed there. CBS Sports Network's coverage of college football continues. Maction. That means weekday Maction. UMass and Ohio. That's Tuesday at 7 Eastern. Home win streaks, so valuable in college football. We know about Indiana. Did you know about Ohio?
Wow. Alabama was up there until tonight, or until today. They took a big loss at home for the first time in a while. Oklahoma took them down.
Second down goal. So Boise State burned that timeout. They got one left. Remember, San Diego State gets the ball to start the second half. So they're trying to control these middle minutes of the game.
I think you give this ball to Sutton, but be on the lookout for a quarterback keeper.
That is Sutton. He's going nowhere, and it feels like San Diego State's going to have to throw this football down the field. every completion they've had has been at the line of scrimmage, and that's why you got -5 yards with 3 completions.
Yeah, they've really only thrown the ball down the field one time, and it was on a 3rd and long there in the first drive. Everything else has been at the line of scrimmage, and you just get the feel that the confidence level just isn't there right now in terms of trying to drive the ball down the field. Now, they've had opportunities to do so, but you got to give credit to Boise State's defense. They've been good in coverage.
On the left is Eric Shenander, the defensive coordinator. Spencer Danielson, before he became the head coach, was a defensive coordinator. So those guys are chopping it up right now, trying to figure out how to stop this 3rd and goal from the 8. 11th play of the drive. And we'll see if Denegal and the offense can pull something creative out of here.
You know, I really think with Jordan Napier, keep in mind he went out of the game earlier in this drive with an undisclosed injury. He's in the locker room right now. I keep this ball on the ground with your best receiver not out on the field at this particular time.
3rd and goal from the 8. He's going to run it. And he's in. Touchdown, San Diego State. Jaden Denegal. Good call, Turbo.
And a very important opportunity there for San Diego State to execute. Keep in mind, they do get the ball coming out of the half. And you know, the reason why Spencer Danielson on the Boise State side using those timeouts, and so that they can have as much time to try to answer here. But nice job by Denegal and the quarterback keeper. Just a draw play there. Offensive line getting out in front, and the toughness there by Denegal to get into the end zone, taking a couple hits.
Extra point is good. 14-7. 1:10 left. No timeouts left for Boise State to try to salvage something at the end of this first half. Jaden Denegal and the Aztecs up a touchdown. 14-7, San Diego State on top. 1:10 left. Boise State gets the football without a timeout. And of course, we talked about Max Cutforth making his first start with Maddox Madsen out. He knew long ago that he wanted to be a Boise State Bronco.
Wow.
Skyview High School, Nampa, Idaho. And here he is getting a start in tough conditions, not only against the best defense in the Mountain West Conference in San Diego State, but also on a night where it rained hard, the ball's been wet. And it will be fascinating to me to see how much they give him of the offense in this 2-minute drill. Falls through the end zone, and we check in with Tiffany Blackman.
Hey, Rich. Well, for Max, you know, it could be some pressure being the hometown kid playing for the team you grew up rooting for, but he doesn't let it get to him. He said he's talked with his family about it. He's talked with his coaches. If his mind starts to wander, he pulls it back in. And then Coach Spencer Danielson gave him some great advice, too. Told him, I don't need this to be a prove-it game for you. I don't need you to try to be anyone else. I just need you to be you. And so far, guys, he's trying to get a handle on this game and have it work for him.
All right, thank you, Tiffany. Hasn't thrown it much yet. 4 of 6 for just 13 yards. And on the ground goes Boise State. They don't have a timeout. Let's see how quickly they can get up and get realigned and get rolling. At this pace, this isn't going to work. I mean, it doesn't look like the Broncos are in any kind of hurry. And I don't know if they're afraid to throw it, but it feels like they're going to need to throw it to score on this drive. Capel's in motion. 2nd down and 4. On the ground, they'll stay with Riley. Now San Diego State, there's 30 seconds left. Turbo, are you surprised that it's just run here?
A little bit surprised, but I understand the thinking here, and I think if I were Sean Lewis, I would call timeout on the defensive side to try to preserve as much time to kick a field goal on the other side.
So why would Boise State call timeouts to preserve time on the clock, and yet once they get the ball, they don't attack?
Well, I just think they just didn't trust it at the end of the day. They were hoping to maybe get a good return or maybe break a big run on 1st down with their run play. And because that didn't happen, they're ready to go into halftime, down a touchdown.
Well, the weather certainly has affected this game, and although it's not raining now, it did have a hard downpour in that first quarter. Spencer Danielson and Boise State on their way into the locker room at the half. And Sean Lewis and San Diego State with a 14-7 halftime lead. And the other part of this is, as we've noted, San Diego State gets the football to start the second half. And Sean Lewis is down below with our Tiffany Blackman.
Hey, Coach Lewis, we knew it was going to be a battle in the trenches. We've seen your run game really get established behind Washington and Sutton. What's working for them?
Guys are doing a great job up front, covering up color, obviously. The backs are doing a good job with their vision and hitting the holes where they need to be.
And on the flip side of that, with Boise State getting their run game going, resulting in that last touchdown for them, how do you slow them down?
Yeah, we got to do our jobs. I mean, it's one drive out of all the ones that we've been out there, right? So we'll settle in, make some adjustments in a good spot where we are going in here in the halftime.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
So there you have it. Interesting stuff here. Aztecs get the football to start the second half. They lead at halftime over Boise State, 14-7. Stick around. The Verizon Halftime Report is coming up. Kubota first half stats in this very important game in the Mountain West. Both teams with just one loss in conference play. 14-7 San Diego State on top. It was soggy at times in the first half. Neither passing game got off the ground at all. Both running games were sloshing through it until the second quarter. And then all of a sudden, you can see the yardage on the ground and a 14-7 Aztec lead. They get the football to start this second half. Rich Waltz along with Robert Turbin. Tiffany Blackman will join us shortly. This is interesting. The weather has certainly affected both play callers and both ground games gained momentum as that first half went on.
Yeah, no surprise. We knew that going into the game plan for both teams was going to be running the football, and because of the elements, it's been about the ground game for both teams.
Well, that's right up your alley, Turbo. You're a running back.
No doubt about it. Yeah, I mean, look, San Diego State did a nice job there. Christian Washington really getting things going on the ground, a couple of explosive runs. Lucky Sutton, of course, doing the damage on the ground as well. And then Jaden Denigal with his athletic ability finishing it off, getting into the end zone also. And that's why you see San Diego State up a score.
The weather report is not as frightening. Rain supposed to hold off for the next hour or so. So we'll see if the passing games can get going. This is Donovan Brown up the right side for San Diego State. And Brown's out to the 25. I pray that Tiffany Blackman stayed dry in that first half. Tiff?
A little damp, but I'm okay now. And I did speak with Broncos coach Spencer Danielson about how to slow down the San Diego State run game. And he told me that defensively, they are just getting moved off the ball by that offensive line for San Diego State. He said, we knew all week that this was going to be a slugfest. So now each one of their guys, he said, has to do their part to try to stop the run.
All right, thank you, Jaden Denigal. As we showed you, ineffective through the air, but he had that big touchdown run to finish a drive and give San Diego State the lead. And the Aztecs have a chance to really win the middle minutes, and that's Lucky Sutton across the 30 and out to the 35-yard line. Ty Benefield made the stop.
Yeah, keep in mind now, you saw Donovan Brown on that kickoff return. He's in the game. Usually it's Jordan Napier who went out of the game in the first half. And not out there at wide receiver right now, but Lucky Sutton in this offensive line continuing to take care of business up front.
Sutton again. And his numbers continuing to climb.
And the thing that you like best, Rich, is he doesn't stop his feet on contact. You know, you hit him initially. His feet keeps continuing to move, and he's able to get extra yardage because of it.
Look at this. I mean, that's how much of a quagmire San Diego State was in. 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and then bang, 2 long drives. All of the damage done in the ground game. Sutton at 93 yards now on the ground. And look, as a flag comes down from the backfield, the defensive backfield, Jeremiah Irby there to make the stop. And we'll see what the officials in the defensive backfield are huddled. Coaches want to know what's up. It almost came from a spot where you would think there was too many men on the field for one of the two teams.
Illegal block in the back. Number 13 on the offense. It's 10 yards from the end of the run. It's still first down.
Nathan Acevedo, a wide receiver. There's number 13.
Coming inside. And that's a close call, I think, because Benefield fell forward. It looked like a block in the back, but he kind of hit him on the side right there, Rich.
All right, it backs the football up to the 40-yard line. Back to first down at 16. Sutton straight ahead. He had a hole. And he has a nice gain into Boise State territory to the 49. Zion Washington held on for the tackle. His second down and about 5.
You know, we talked about the aggressiveness of Eric Shenander. He likes to blitz his linebackers. Notriani really the head of the snake of that. A lot of times when you blitz against the run, though, you find yourself out of position. And in a first and long situation like that, you just can't give a big run like that.
Sutton again. Sutton now, his career is over 1,000. It's a gain of 3 more. Third down and 2. You know, we've been talking about running backs, certainly, and Sutton's numbers rising both in this game and in his career. Some great names, right? Penny, Bell, Cooper. That's since 2017, so Marshall Faulk does not make that list. He's before that.
One of the all-time greats, though.
Pumphrey as well. Denigal's going to throw it, at least attempt to throw it. Fires it sideline. That's a back shoulder throw. Did he make the catch? Yes, he did. That's Donovan Brown. Boise State is arguing right now. The officials are calling it a catch.
The ruling on the field is
take another look at it, Rich. The ball's short. That's really close.
Can't see the lines from that perspective. Obviously, they're going to review this. You need an overhead look here.
The ruling on the field is a completed catch. The previous play is under further review.
And I got to admit, Rich, I mean, 3rd and 2, you know, you've been running the football so successfully. I'm not sure you take a shot right there, but
yeah, he's kneeling out of bounds at this point. So I think the officials maybe thought he was still airborne.
Yeah, he's trying to.
That foot's out. Yeah. That once you get the shin down, that's down, and he's out of bounds. Yeah. Any part of the body that's out of bounds is out of bounds.
Yeah. So this is going to be incomplete, and I'm just not sure why you take a shot, you know, right there in that moment. 3rd and 2, run game has been efficient.
Well, I guess that begs the question. If this is overturned, do you go for it on 4th and 2?
I would.
So,
yeah, I think if you're Sean Lewis, you certainly have to consider going for it here on 4th down.
But I think it's significant that San Diego State actually attempted a pass down the field, past the line of scrimmage,
yeah,
and nearly completed it.
And honestly, the ball's underthrown. You could tell that it slipped out of Denigal's hands there a little bit. I mean, you're just putting the ball in harm's way when you don't need to. When you've had so much success on the ground, I mean, it's like I mentioned in the first half, you know, don't get bored with success. Don't get bored with doing a good thing there.
So, collaborative replay in the Mountain West is in Pittsburgh. I would guess that they're saying at this point, looked like the toe was out, the knee was out. and add that up, and the call's overturned. And so I'm sure San Diego State's thinking about, all right, what do we do here?
Well, they should already have a play in mind.
On a 4th and 2.
If you're Sean Lewis, you're talking to Daniel, you're getting this offense together right now, and you've got a play in mind if you decide to go for it on 4th down.
This seemed like a really easy call to look at, but
After further review, the receiver's left foot was out of bounds prior to having possession. It is an incomplete pass. It'll be 4th down at the 47-yard line.
so call overturned. It may have taken a while for them to, and they're going to punt. The Aztecs are going to punt, so they're not going for it. Passing yardage is scarce, man. Look at that. I've not seen a game like this in college football. I don't think the conditions are that bad. I mean, the ball was wet when it was raining. It hasn't rained for another 30 minutes. They have dry footballs.
You see Boise State playing it safe here, being aware of the fake punt.
That's going to get into the end zone, and that's a 47-yard punt. First possession, Boise State in the second half. They're trailing 14-7.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Kubota, your compact equipment provider. By Harbor Freight. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight. By Ameriprise Financial. Advice worth talking about. And by Ram Trucks. Nothing stops Ram.
2021, San Diego State playing their home games up in Compton. And that was during the final week of the 2021 season. That is Jordan Napier, who was hit on an incomplete pass, went to the locker room and is out. You can see the brace on that left knee. So that's not good news for San Diego State. Maybe that's one of the reasons there's a reluctance to throw it on San Diego State's side. And now the Broncos' first play, much like the last play of the first half, is a run play to Dylan Riley. There's the possessions. And again, most of Boise State's yardage on the ground. The Broncos have 140 total yards. 127 of them have come via the run. Their young quarterback, Max Cutforth, the third-year sophomore. This is a handoff to Bates coming around the end. And wow, is he planted. That's an All-American at that corner spot. That's Chris Johnson, who's back after an injury. They don't run towards him. They don't throw near him. And that's why.
Chris Johnson, he was a game-time decision tonight. Didn't know whether or not he was going to play. Decided to give it a go. And listen, he's great in coverage, but you love the fact that he can come up and make tackles, and that's why he's going to be playing on Sundays one day.
He's got 3 tackles in this one. Enough for a first down. More Riley on the ground. McDougal makes the stop. All right, it's time to address the question with Boise State. Max Cutforth. It doesn't look like they have a lot of confidence in their young quarterback. And it's worth noting that Chris Marshall's not playing, injured this week. Ben Ford's been out a long time. So they have 2 really good wide receivers who are not here and not playing.
Those are their top 2 wide receivers, Rich.
Second down, 10. Riley has some ground. He goes down. I don't know if he slipped, if the turf may have given way as he was running. He's short of the first down. It's 3rd and about 3. Watch the end of this.
Yeah, he's one-on-one with Delshawn Staley.
He just slipped.
Yeah, and they both kind of slipped. I mean, Delshawn slipped on the tackle, and then Riley there slipped on the cutback.
It's worth noting that this turf was replaced 2 weeks ago. It was tarped for the rain, so I don't know that it's essentially wet or soaked. Third down 3. That's a pitch, and that's Sherrod, and he isn't going anywhere. That will lose 3 yards.
Well,
Eric Butler.
Yeah, I mean, Butler makes the tackle there, but Dwayne McDougal is the one who really made the play on this, and Rob Arich, defensive coordinator, called him one of the smartest and most instinctive players, getting downhill right away, recognizing the toss. And then we talked about how good this San Diego State defense is in terms of rallying to the football, and certainly a nice job right there.
Mikey Welsh is deep. End over end kick. Fair catch called for and made at the 27-yard line. 37-yard punts. 8:44 left, third quarter. 14-7 San Diego State. As many of you may have heard, John Beam, the longtime Laney Junior College football coach and athletic director in Oakland, whose mentorship shaped generations of Oakland athletes, inspired Netflix Last Chance U series, died on Friday morning at the age of 66 from a gunshot wound he sustained on Thursday. This guy, Amarian McCoy, was one of the hundreds of athletes that was inspired and affected and guided by Coach Beam. McCoy played at Laney College. He had nothing, he said, when he arrived from East Palo Alto to that junior college in the East Bay. And McCoy and a lot of the players still in shock. And look, we're both East Bay guys. You obviously a football player wired into that community. You have friends that played for him and knew him, and certainly he and McCoy were tight as well.
Yeah, one of my friends was inducted into the Laney Football Hall of Fame by Coach Beam, who I talked to over the last couple days, along with a couple handful of people who were impacted by the loss of Coach Beam. Tough to see.
Finally, a throw downfield complete. Mikey Welsh with the catch, and he's across midfield to the 43-yard line. It's a good play action and a good play call.
Well, we haven't seen many of it tonight, but the play action draws the defense towards the line of scrimmage, and just a layup throw there by Denigal, his best one of the night, accurate, on time, and just a nice job by Welsh coming down with it.
That's the first pass complete that is positive yardage, 34 yards for San Diego State. Welch makes the catch, and he pays the price immediately. Coming up was Jaden Mickey on the stop.
All right, now
second down and about 4.
Can't go broke making a profit now.
Or, excuse me, second down and almost 14. I was looking at the wrong stick.
You get a good first down there on the throw, but it's the ground game now that has really gotten this offense going. Don't get away from it.
So second down and about 13. So to finish it, I mean, we talked to McCoy a few weeks ago, you and I did, about his path, and he said when he got to Laney College, he had nothing. He had nothing but his effort and his performance, and he was essentially last chance U. And look at where he is now. He's one of the best defensive backs in the Mountain West Conference. He's had an incredible year this year. 4 picks, 2 pick sixes.
And an opportunity to take his game to the next level and achieve his dreams of playing in the NFL, which I think he will.
There's a lot of stories like that came from Laney College and Coach Beam, for sure. Social media, obviously, and this is from Amarian McCoy. You kicked it off for me. I can never thank you enough. I love you, man. That's talking to him 3 weeks ago. And having him talk about Laney College, and then to have this happen, and then we have the game, and to talk to him again, and to hear and see the impact he had on him, man, it's such a loss for Oakland, such a loss for college football. We'll be right back. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Well, the quarterbacks haven't really been utilized much at all. Just 15 yards passing for San Diego State. And Max Cutforth, 4 of 6, 13 yards. He hasn't thrown the ball in a while. It's been dry for a while. So, Robert Turbin, at what point do you give your young quarterback a chance to throw the football?
Well, I think soon. And really for Max Cutforth's confidence, you got to let him rip it down the field at some point, just to give him confidence and to show that you have confidence in him.
On the ground, this is Gaines. He had a good first half, and Gaines is going to get to, we're about the 24.
We're seeing a lot of 2 and 3 tight end sets, and if I'm offensive coordinator Nate Potter, it's like, look, I'm thinking, where can I set up a one-on-one with one of my speedy receivers? Maybe it's Cameron Bates, maybe it's Caples, and you let Max Cutforth just rip one down the field.
Gaines left side. He's going to be short of the first down. Now, to be fair to the play callers, both at home and here in the stadium, it did rain in the first half, and the field was wet, and it's probably somewhat damp down there, and you've got a guy who was a former walk-on, now a scholarship quarterback, making his first start. But he's had some experience. He's led a touchdown drive against Air Force. So he's been in the middle of it, and he's executed at times.
And Caples and Bates onto the field now, but I still think they're going to run this football.
Yes. And Cutforth on 3rd and 1. Looks like he's going to get the first down. And the young man certainly, it seems like he has managed the offense. He's run the operation. He has guys lined up. They've been able to get it through. Nate Potter is the offensive coordinator for Boise State.
Also coaches tight ends, which I think is really one of the key pieces, as Matt Lauder, their starting tight end, jogs off of the field. But, he can really serve as one of those security blankets. You got your 2 wideouts, your 2 top wideouts out for this game. Utilize Matt Lauder more in the passing game.
In motion is Bates. Gaines trying to bounce it outside, and he does. Got speed, and he has a big gain there. Flag goes down, possibly a face mask. McDougal was the tackler, and Bates, who has 2 rushing touchdowns, or excuse me, gains on that carry.
I'm curious.
Let's see what the official has to say.
During the run, personal foul, face mask, number 26 on the offense.
Whoa!
It's 15 yards from the spot on foul.
You running backs rarely get called for that.
Yeah, you don't see that one often. Let's see if he he's grabbing. See, you're taught when you stiff arm, Rich, you got to keep the hand flat. All right. So that way, when it's on the face mask, you don't get called for that penalty there. You can see right there, Gaines is grabbing, the fingers are inside of the face mask there, and that's what caused the penalty.
Were you ever flagged for that?
Never.
Not at Utah State, not with the Seahawks, not with the Colts. Am I missing a team?
The Pop Warner Buffalo Bills at 10 years old. Fremont Bills.
The Fremont Bills?
There you go.
You never played the Martinez Mustangs, apparently. We never traveled down to Fremont. We stayed up in the northern part of the East Bay.
That's right.
Buffalo Bills.
That's it. The Bills and the Bears, my 2 Pop Warner teams.
It's a call that you often hear people say, well, why doesn't the offense get called for it? And here's an example. Yeah. Put that on tape and show it around.
Yeah.
1st and 21.
A personnel change for Boise State. And they got 11 personnel now, 1 tight end in the back, 3 wide receivers in the game. See if they throw it here.
Gaines in the backfield. Cut forth, gonna give it to Gaines. And he's going nowhere. This is gonna be 2nd and 22. You almost feel like you have to throw it now at this point, right? It's 2nd and 21.
And the game plan for Boise State, look, I know they wanted to condense the offense for Max Cutforth, but the other part of it was they wanted to move the pocket, right? So he didn't have to sit in the pocket and have to go through his progressions. Roll him out, buy him some time to try to find open targets that way.
Well, there's no one to hand it off to now unless somebody comes sweeping around on a jet sweep.
There's
2nd and 21.
Lauder there.
And so Cutforth is going to throw it. A little slant, and it's going to go for about 5 yards. Caples makes the catch. That was kind of the extent of his throws in the first half, were a couple of slants like that.
Yeah, real quick, short throws, and San Diego State knows that that's coming. Owen Chambliss there with the tackle, so they're playing tight coverage, you know, against these targets.
Not only the first completed pass, that may be the first attempted pass in the 2nd quarter. 3rd down 15. They will run it. Trey White makes the stop, and the Broncos are going to punt this football.
And I just don't know if you're going to be able to come back and win this game if you're Boise State playing this conservatively. In that situation, I understand it's 3rd and long. You don't want to put the ball in harm's way. You play the field position game. But at some point, you've got to open up this offense and try to get something going in the air.
Boise State, always very good with trick plays. That's a bad punt that's going to get a good roll. That's a huge break for Boise State. That was a ground ball up the middle that somehow made its way into center field. A 39-yard punt by the Aussie. San Diego State with the football. Minute 12 left, 3rd quarter. (14-7) San Diego State on top, 3rd quarter, minute 12 left. Tomorrow, you can count on an NFL on CBS doubleheader, early action headline, a great matchup, the Bucs and the Bills, crucial game in the AFC West, Chiefs and division-leading Broncos. It all starts at noon Eastern, live in Denver with the NFL Today. You can count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, and it streams on Paramount Plus. Your AFC West standings. Broncos are back. Here, this game has been played basically on the ground, almost exclusively. Neither team seems like they have an appetite to throw the football. Lucky Sutton dragging a tackler with him. That's Bowen Phelps. That's a gain of about 7 for San Diego State. Play selection. Now, again, when we started, it was somewhat dry. Then it rained in the first half. It feels like it's dry now, but neither offensive coordinator has opened it up. Sutton now with 126 yards on 19 carries. Jake Ripp, living up to his name, makes the stop at the 37. It's 3rd down and about 4. The time of game is like Air Force playing Army or any academy game where they keep it on the ground. This game is absolutely flying. Sutton on the sideline, and the rain returns.
The running backs love it. Look at Washington. He's like, bring it on.
On to the 4th. San Diego getting soggy again. Aztecs with the lead and the ball as we go to the 4th. College football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. 14-7, on to the 4th. Moments ago, Tiffany Blackman with Sean Lewis.
Coach Lewis, the run game's been effective for you guys throughout this game. How do you stick with it to try to finish strong?
That's the strength of our unit. We got to keep leaning into it, keep having good body shots with it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, man, there's been a long line of body shots in this one. This has been a rugged game. I mean, it's almost like a Big Ten basketball game 10 years ago, or, you know, the old NFC North, you know, the black and blue division. There's some moisture here. It was raining moments ago. All of a sudden, the rain has stopped. This is 3rd and 4. 1 of 7 on 3rd down. And busting loose, that's Washington again. This is the guy that got it going for San Diego State when they couldn't move the football in the first half.
He's also the guy that was pumping up the crowd once the rain started going right there at the end of that 3rd quarter. And we talked about how these running backs on contact, they just keep their feet moving. And Washington right there able to break a tackle and just pick up a huge first down for this offense.
Out across midfield into Boise State territory. Broncos show blitz. Here they come. Washington slips through one tackle. He can't get by Jeremiah Irby. Irby, who was also an East Palo Alto guy, started his career at Cal, and one of the reasons he ended up at Boise State was the fact that Amarian McCoy had gone from Laney up to Boise State. And those two guys, really good friends, obviously. And so then you get McCoy and Irby. Almost a package deal. 47-yard line of Boise State. Welsh in motion. Bouncing it outside. This time it's Byron Cardwell Jr. He's the 3rd running back in this group. Also a San Diego guy.
And again, the key, he bounces to the outside, and it's just about being able to tackle in space. You know, one of the things that defensive coordinator Eric Shenander wanted to be intentional about with his defense, and another missed tackle results in a first down for San Diego State.
Cardwell straight ahead, 2 hard-earned yards. Have you seen a game like this? Dominated so much by the run game in the last 5-10 years in college football?
I think so.
And it's not a Air Force, Army, academy game.
I have, Rich, and I've been a part of games like this as well, playing in the elements of Utah State and other, you know, schools where you just never know what the weather's going to be like, and you end up running the football between two teams, you know, 40 or 50 times.
Cardwell again. This could be 3rd down and about 6. Is the weather that extreme, though? I mean, it has rained a couple times, but the field's in fairly good shape. Obviously keeping the football dry, you know, with the ball hitting the turf, but that's the job of the, you know, each sideline.
Well, I think that goes into the fact that you've got Jaden Danicle, who just, you know, the last few games hasn't really performed at a high level. And then on the Boise State side, you know, you got a kid making his first start. So both sides being very conservative.
Little run on the left side. That's Welsh. And he's going to be short of the first down. This would be about a 47-yard field goal. Now, in times like this, if you can't throw the ball, sometimes you can't kick the ball. San Diego State has a really good kicker, though, in Gabriel Placencia.
And I think this is a good decision. He's one of the best in the Mountain West. He's been consistent for the most part.
He is, as he calls himself, the thicker kicker. He's a big guy, 6 feet, 245 pounds. This is 47 yards. Snap's good, hold is good. That's a line drive kick, and that's good. There's no messing around.
And that's really key for San Diego State because now it's a two-possession game.
Placentia. Nice footwork to avoid the tackler as well. Sean Lewis had games like this when he was a tight end at Wisconsin, where you had to get the hard yards for sure. Play of the game is brought to you by Chili's. This guy's been a difference maker, Christian Washington. And this is a run off that last drive that helps set up a field goal that has made this a two-score game.
And he's just been able to get the tough yards all night, Rich. You think he got him bottled up, and then boom, he springs out for a big game.
7 carries, 96 yards for Washington.
Wow. That's a big-time performance for him.
Placentia. And that's not a great kick because it's out of bounds. You're going to bring that out to the 35-yard line. Good field position.
Kick out of bounds. Number 11 on the kicking team. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
Good field position for Boise State. If you're just joining us, wet on and off. Some rain. You can see the moisture still on Spencer Danielson's coat. Both coaches have been really conservative with their play calling. Not a lot of passes thrown, a lot of running. Boise State, a little flip out to the right side, and that's Caples with the catch. I think Caples is going to get about 9.5 yards, just short of the first down. And so Boise State does put it in the air.
It's a nice confidence-boosting type throw for a cut fourth. They're going to need to throw the ball here in this fourth quarter. Now you're down 2 scores. And listen, the ground game has been good for you, but you know you're going to need to score quickly here with the clock not really your friend at this time.
Riley straight ahead. That's a great point, Turbo. And that's the clock on this drive for Boise State. There's 10 minutes left, and you're thinking that's a lot of time. But the way these two teams are moving the football by, 6-8 yards at a time, that eats up clock. If Boise's going to run this football down the field, that could eat up 5 or 6 more minutes. Then you got San Diego State. Boise is not guaranteed 3 possessions here, and maybe not even 2. Riley straight ahead to the 46-yard line. Anderson made the stop.
That's a great point, Rich. And the focus, obviously, for Boise State right now is put a drive together and get into the end zone and score a touchdown. And then you got to trust your defense to try to get a stop. But the thing is, San Diego State has been so efficient on the ground. Those stops have been hard to come by.
Quentin Brown in motion. Cut forth is going to throw. Screen pass. And it's Lauder with the catch. Or excuse me, Matt Wagner with the catch. And Wagner gets to the 43-yard line. This is State, 4-1 San Diego State, 4-1 Boise State. New Mexico won today. UNLV won today. Fresno State is up right now in their game. Top 2 teams in the Mountain West Championship. And these 2 teams have really represented in the Mountain West Championship a lot over the last 10, 12 years. 3rd and 2. Riley right side, he didn't get it. This is going to be 4th down and 2. Again, with the clock, this has got to be 4-down territory.
Yeah, no doubt. And San Diego really sniffed that one out. You had Dylan Riley, lined up essentially 4 yards behind the quarterback. Everybody was bunched in tight there formationally. You knew a run was coming downhill, and San Diego State did a nice job stopping it. But no doubt about it, got to go for it here on 4th down.
A timeout.
Timeout, San Diego State. It's their first and a half, 30 seconds in length.
So the Aztecs call a timeout, 4th down and 2, 7:45 left, fourth quarter. This game has flown by because both teams have run the football a ton.
You know, a good timeout here for Sean Lewis just to ensure his defense was set. We call that a Kodak moment. You want to see what the offense is going to be lined up in for this particular situation. But, you know, I think strategically for Boise State, look, you haven't thrown the ball a lot. You know, this is really a time where you can run the football. But I think a play action, you know, move, cut forth outside of the pocket on a rollout, look for one of your tight ends is a good play in this scenario.
Gaines in the backfield. 4th and 2. Now Capel's in motion. Little play action. Cut forth, looking, firing, got him in! It's caught there. Flag is down. Back at the 47. Cameron Bates made the catch. And finally, they let Cutforth throw the ball down the field, and he throws a strike.
Well, it looks like Nate Potter and I were on the same page there with that play call, but we'll see what the flag is.
Holding, number 26 on the offense. It's 10 yards from the previous spot, still 4th down.
That's Gaines.
Yeah, and typically good in pass protection. Sire Gaines, perhaps maybe a little over-aggressive on this particular play. Let's take a look at it. There's Cutforth, and yep, that left hand right there grabs the jersey, and now Boise State's going to be forced to punt this football. You got to get squared up on the rusher there if you're Gaines, and keep your hands inside.
Doyle to punt, and obviously it was 4th and 2, so the hold makes it 4th and 12. Better punt here. Welsh calls for a fair catch and makes it. So it's down to 7 minutes and 12 seconds, and San Diego State gets the football. It's a 2-score game, a 17-7 Aztec lead.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Acura. Precision crafted performance. By Verizon. And delivered by Little Caesars.
In San Diego tonight, it's been wet and then dried out. Most guys have had their shirts off, whether it's been raining or not.
Those are surfers right there.
San Diego State, with 7:12 left in the game, has the ball and the lead. They have run the ball with effectiveness. 254 yards on the ground for San Diego State. That's almost 100 more than Boise State. And that's Lucky Sutton, her bursts out for a 6-yard gain. Losing back-to-back games in a conference setting has not happened since 2021. It's only happened twice in school history since they had joined the Mountain West back in 2015 happened as well. But the Bronco defense needs to get the ball back because San Diego State wants to run clock, move the chains. They have a 2-score lead. And if they keep doing this, they're going to run clock. Jaden Mickey makes the stop. Another Lucky Sutton run.
Well, the two important things for San Diego State on this drive is A, it's all about the ball. It's all about the ball. You got to take care of the football, 2 hands on that thing at all times. And B, you're going to take your time as we take a look at what's going on since 2013, 58-2 when rushing for over 200 yards, and they've got 265 tonight. San Diego State well on their way, but you want to take your time and use the clock to your advantage here.
Well, they ran the play clock down on both of those. Sutton, no gain there, but he's had 139 yards on 23 carries now. And Christian Washington, one of the other running backs, is close as well to 100. 7 carries, 96 yards for him.
And you talk about those carries for Lucky Sutton, right around the average that he's had over the last 3 games. He's averaged 22 carries, and that's about where he is. Going to get a few extra here to try to run this clock out.
And of course, the significance of that holding call on the pass completion and the first down conversion by Boise State. Time's running thin. They may not get 2 more possessions now. Look at Lucky Sutton pinballing his way out across the 35. It's a gain of about 8. And the sticks don't move yet. It's 3rd down and 2, but you can see the clock continues to melt. You saw Gaines. This is the holding call. This is the throw from Cutforth, or it was, that certainly you thought finally Boise State completes a pass down the field. They get a big first down, and it all came back. And they haven't seen the football since.
And they go tempo right there on that 3rd down play just to try to keep Boise State on their heels. And I can tell you from experience, when you're running the football like this, you're breaking tackles, the defense eventually, they don't want to tackle anymore.
Play action. And a screen on the sideline. And the Broncos, I mean, we just dipped under 4 minutes. Boise State's going to use a timeout here. And they have to,
Timeout.
if you think about it.
Boise State, it's their first and a half. 30 seconds in lane.
Timeout on the field. We're back after this. 17-7, San Diego State. Because of the nature of this game, both teams running it. You know, the football probably is a little wet right now. Sire Gaines still stewing over that holding call. Because of the nature of this game, the young quarterback and Max Cutforth, the time of possession and the number of possessions in this 4th quarter have really shrunk. So Spencer Danielson just called a timeout. Boise State trying to keep some time on the clock. They're down 2 scores. 2nd and 8. He's going to call another timeout here. So the Broncos are right along where we've been thinking, in that they may not have.
Timeout, Boise State, 2nd and a half, 30 seconds in lane.
The math doesn't favor them having 2 more possessions, and he senses that, and I think he's trying to just, you know, give his club a chance. Our players of the game brought to you by Old Trapper Beef Jerky.
Well, Lucky Sutton, we knew that coming into this game with the elements and the rain, it was going to come down to the ground game on both sides, and Lucky Sutton has certainly answered the call. And I love that when we had our conversation with him yesterday in our meetings, he talked about how he mirrors his game around Marshawn Lynch, who of course I know very well, and Adrian Peterson, another guy, but got his inspiration in the beginning from Barry Sanders. But he said, look, I'd never be able to run quite like him. I don't think anybody's ever been able to run quite like Barry
Wasn't it his dad who showed him footage of Barry Sanders?
Yeah, that's
said,
right.
hey.
That's right.
On 3rd down, Washington's going to carry it. Boise State's going to use their final timeout, and there's 3:48 on the clock. I don't know that I've ever seen this before. And it makes sense.
Timeout,
because
Boise State, it's their 30
you got the 2-minute timeout that you're going to have. But still, he knows it. You're down 2 scores. San Diego State's chewing up time. Your offense, your Boise State, hasn't been able to move the ball with timely drives. There's Maddox Madsen, who's out. Cutforth certainly is going to be throwing the ball when their possession starts here in a moment. Those are Mountain West records for those teams and remaining schedules as well. Colorado State at Utah State, and that game actually is on big CBS. San Jose State, and then at New Mexico for San Diego State. That New Mexico game on the road is certainly going to be quite a battle. Green will punt. Has to get up to get it. Hits a line drive that lands at the 30 and rolls inside the 18-yard line. When the story of this game is written, they need to put a paragraph about Hunter Green, the punter, making a leaping catch on that snap.
That was huge.
And getting the punt off. Look at that. That's Ray Guy-like. Oh, come on, kids. Just search it. Ray Guy. You'll find him. Max Cutforth at Boise State, down 10, 3.5 left. It's coming up. Back to New York. College Football Crew breaks down all the action in college football right here on CBS Sports Network. He's on the crew. Not the Motley Crew, but...
Could be.
All right, let's see what the kids got.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to throw it now, Rich. They got no choice here. And I'll tell you what, this secondary for San Diego State, they're licking their chops. They've been waiting for this moment all game long.
1st and 10, four-man rush. Cutforth with time, throws it. Gorgeous throw, caught there. That's Penry with the catch. And the chains will move, and Boise State with a good start to this drive.
And Penry's one of those sure-handed players, one of those dependable guys. He can play any position at the wide receiver spot. Way to go up and get that one.
Bates in motion. Cutforth again, scrambling, looking, and he does a nice job to get out of bounds. He looks pretty confident, looks pretty good.
Yeah, showing some mobility there, getting outside the pocket, getting a couple yards, being smart and get out of bounds. You got the 2-minute timeout that you can still utilize if you're Boise State. And, you know, once you get into San Diego State territory, assuming that you cross the 50, you can think about kicking a field goal first just to preserve time. But got to take care of business here and get some yardage. 8
of 10, 51 yards for Cutforth. Quick throw, caught there. That's Caples, short of the first down. Boise State used all their timeouts to keep time on the clock. The 2-minute timeout arrives in half a minute. 3rd down and 2, got to get a first down here. Cutforth, scrambling, looking, throws, got a man, that's Caples, that's the first down. And you, at some point, also ask yourself, why hadn't they started doing this a little sooner?
No
Obviously,
doubt.
the defense is a little different, but Cutforth feels like he's in a rhythm, fires to the side. Penry can't hold it. That was a good throw.
Well, you want to be careful about throwing to that guy's side. That's for sure. Chris Johnson, ball was a little high. He broke on that one and you know, made a pretty big hit there on Chase Penry, but you got to be impressed with Max Cutforth right now in terms of how he's operating this 2-minute drill. He's been decisive. He's had to make a couple plays with his feet. He's looking good so far.
Bates in motion. Cutforth, blitz comes. They pick it up. Lauder drops it and went right through his hands. That doesn't happen very often.
I tried to squeeze it in between two defenders. I was looking to see if Mr. Williams, there at 41, thought maybe they wanted to look at that as a targeting opportunity, but got his helmet out of it. And so the question is for Boise State, no Caples in the game, no Bates in the game. Who's going to be the 3rd down playmaker on the outside?
3 of 4 on this drive is Cutforth. Over the middle, caught by Penry. Gorgeous throw. Penry is down to the 25-yard line. Where has this been?
Unbelievable.
Cutforth.
This is a 2-minute timeout.
Composure, accuracy. The kid is starting to spin it. San Diego State, the defense trying to hold on. Boise State needs a touchdown and then the ball back. 2 minutes to go in San Diego. Remember, for all of these group of 5 teams, and certainly the Americans got 3 teams up there: North Texas Navy, Tulane, James Madison from the Sun Belt, San Diego State, UNLV. It's the highest rated conference champion. You have to win your championship game to be considered, and it's the top dog from there. Here, Boise State has finally opened the offensive playbook, and Max Cutforth has really responded. On this drive, 55 yards through the air. They're out of timeouts, and they're down 10. 1st and 10. Here comes the blitz. Cutforth throws. Flags go down. There's a flag down. It came from the umpire.
I think you're going to get a chop block with Dylan Riley and one of the offensive linemen.
Personal foul, chop block, number 24 and 62. It'll be 15 yards from the previous spot, still 1st down.
Yeah, so there's Riley. He's right there. He's going to come up and cut down Owen Chambliss on the blitz, but the problem is there's Carrion. He's engaged with Owen on the block, and so you just can't create the high-low scenario right there, and that's what caused the chop block penalty.
2 penalties on 2 different running backs, costly for Boise State. This is a long 1st and 25, and a tall ask for the young quarterback. Cutforth is back. Ball is deflected, and it's in the air and incomplete.
Oh, boy.
Somebody got a hand on it, and I think it was Brady Nassar. Cutforth waggling that right arm.
And he had Quentin Brown across the middle. He was coming open, and just a nice job there. Getting a hand on Cutforth's hand there. That's Nassar. It's forcing 2nd down, but I'll tell you what, Cutforth has been cutting up here on this drive. Let's see if they can create something easy, but I think San Diego State, they want to try to dial something up here to make them uncomfortable.
Yeah, blitz again. Quick throw. Henry with the catch. Terrific move inside the 25. He's short of the 1st down.
Wow. I mean, just the poise. No panic. He knows the blitz is coming. He knows where the hot route is. And to complete it, that's advanced football right there.
3rd and 8 to the end zone, and it's a wasted play. You can take the 3 here and get the field goal, and then onside kick and try to get it back.
That's the smart choice. Now, what happened on that last play was it's a read by the wide receiver. And it's a go route as long as the cornerback is either beside you or behind you. You got to keep going. If the cornerback stays on top, all right, you turn it into a stop route, a comeback route towards the quarterback, and Cutforth that time thought Caples had the leverage, just a miscommunication there.
Colton Boomer, his 1st attempt. Timeout, San Diego State.
Okay.
Timeout, San Diego State. It's their 2nd of the half, 30 seconds in length.
That was impressive by Max Cutforth on that drive to even overcome the penalty, the chop block, and put his team in field goal position.
And let's give credit to Spencer Danielson too for calling those timeouts. Some people are probably, what is that? What is he doing? Calling 3 timeouts early with 4 minutes left. There would not be a minute 25 left on this clock.
Yeah.
The game would be over, and he'd be in the locker room at this point.
Well, he was trying to preserve as much time as possible, and he trusted his defense, knowing, San Diego State was going to try to run the ball and run the clock out. We've got to credit the defense for getting the stop there as well.
All right, here's Boomer. 41-yard attempt. Obviously, he has to make this for Boise State to have a chance. Snap, kick, up, and no good. Wow. San Diego State is going to win this game.
He made the practice one. And just missed it by a hair. Man, that's a heartbreaker for Boise State. The operation's good. I mean, it's clean. You got the snap, you got the hold. And he just pushed it left, Rich.
Not by much.
Yeah, he overthought it. He made the practice one on the snap before with the timeout.
I think
Please reset the game clock to 1 minute, 21 seconds.
from that reaction,
1 second on the game clock. Thank you.
Anderson thought it went in, huh?
it looked like from his angle he thought it went in. Yeah. Obviously, once he saw the reaction of his team, he realized it didn't. So the map favors San Diego State. This is going to take 3 kneels, and this game is over as long as San Diego State holds on to the football. It wasn't pretty. Sean Lewis and San Diego State are going to go to 8-2, and they will be the only team in the conference with just 1 loss. They'll be 5-1.
Everything they want ahead of them for San Diego State. And their goal is to make the college football playoff. And in order to do that, they had to win tonight. And they're going to have to continue to win. But they've got some tough, they've got some tough opponents coming up.
Soggy night. The run game on both sides was a point of emphasis in the game plan. It really turned out to be even more than we expected. 278 yards on the ground out of 295 total yards for San Diego State. Well, the Aztecs beat Boise State, and the Broncos lose consecutive conference games. A loss to Fresno State 2 weeks ago, and after a bye week, a loss here on the road. That's a pretty happy coach in Sean Lewis right now. And of course, a terrific job by Lucky Sutton, who ran for 150. 17-7 is the final score. And now San Diego State sits alone. 2 more games left for everybody in conference play. And of course, the top 2 teams, and there's a lot of tiebreakers because there's 4 teams right now at 4-2. There's a lot of tiebreakers out there. Fresno State is still playing right now. But for San Diego State, it's a huge win. They do have that final game at New Mexico. It certainly will be a test. And we check in with Tiffany Blackman, Lucky Sutton, her guest.
Lucky, you talked to us about how eager this team was to bounce back from what happened last week. What does it feel like to not only do that, but now to sit atop of the Mountain West?
You know, it's a great feeling. I feel like we played a really great game. Offensive line they balled out today. I'm really thankful for the offensive line. They gave me some nice holes so I can run the ball, and that's what it ultimately came down to, is running the ball this game and who can run the ball better. So really grateful for the offense and the defense. The defense balled out today too.
You and your boy Washington there were really carving it up out there with the run game thanks to that O-line. Why were you guys so effective in that 1-2 punch?
You know, we've been working on that forever. You know, it's always a competition, but it's a competition where there's no drop-off. Whoever goes in, next man up mentality. And, you know, he's been waiting for that moment, and we've been talking about this for a while, and we're just trying to uphold that standard. Back when there was the panty and the pump days, trying to get to that level and trying to raise that standard every single week.
And your defense, they said they wanted to come out and show that they were an elite defense. How proud are you of the way that they played this evening?
You know, they played great. Only put 7 up, but I'm just really, really proud of all of them guys, all the guys up front, defensive backs, and all the defense. They played really great, and I'm really thankful for them.
Congratulations, Lucky.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that offensive line was terrific. Joe Borjon, Bayo Kaniki, Kalen Ellis, Christian Jones, Ross Ulugalu Masayuli. That's the 5 offensive linemen he was talking about. Big win for San Diego State. For Robert Turbin, Tiffany Blackman, our entire crew, I'm Rich Waltz. This is a presentation of CBS Sports Network, 24-hour home of CBS Sports. On to New York, Brent Stover and the crew. So long from San Diego.